There is a moment in a person's life, a quiet, almost invisible moment, when the world outside no longer determines the world within. A moment when something long buried rises from the depths and whispers, "I have been waiting for you." This is the moment Jung believed changes everything. The moment you finally turn toward the inner child you abandoned in order to survive. For Jung, healing does not begin in the light. It begins in the forgotten places, in the memories you outgrew, in the emotions you silenced, in the parts of yourself you were taught to hide. But what truly happens when you meet the child within? And why did Jung claim that this encounter is the doorway to your destiny? The inner child, as the keeper of the unconscious, Jung believed that every person carries within them a small, hidden figure, a living symbol woven from early memories, unmet needs, and emotional truths. This figure is the inner child, not childish, not immature, but the purest imprint of who you were before the world taught you how to be. He wrote that the psyche remembers everything, every joy, every shame, every dismissal, every secret wish. The inner child holds these memories as if guarding sacred treasure. And yet, most adults spend their lives running from that treasure, because to face it means to face the wounds that shaped you. The paradox Jung uncovered is this: your inner child is both the smallest part of you and the one who holds the key to your wholeness. But how do we find this child? And why does the journey often begin with resistance? Jung believed the answer lies in a force most people fear, a force that rises uninvited, especially when the child within is calling. A force he named the shadow. The shadow, as the guardian of the wound, the shadow is not darkness for the sake of darkness. It is a protector, a gatekeeper, a mirror of everything you rejected in order to be loved. Your anger, your softness, your fear, your brilliance, your authenticity. Jung found that the shadow forms when the inner child is wounded, when parents, teachers, or society send a message. Not this part of you. Not here. Not ever. And so the child hides those parts away, burying them in the unconscious where they wait, untouched but never inactive. Jung wrote, "The shadow is the person you could have been, had you not needed to survive." This is why healing triggers fear, because when you approach the inner child, the shadow appears first, protective, defensive, sometimes hostile, as if asking, "Are you finally strong enough to remember?" But what if the shadow is not the enemy? What if it is simply waiting for you to listen? To understand this, Jung said we must go deeper still into the realm of patterns older than memory, older than culture, older than the self you think you are, into the world of archetypes. Archetypes, in the ancient language of the soul for Jung, the psyche is not a blank slate. It is a living landscape filled with universal symbols: the mother, the hero, the wounded healer, the trickster, the child. These archetypes shape our dreams, our desires, our fears. They speak in symbols when words are too small. The inner child, Jung believed, is not merely personal. It is an archetype of innocence, potential, and emotional truth. It is the part of you that remembers wonder, that once trusted life completely, that knew joy before you learned caution. But the wounded child is also an archetype, the child abandoned, silenced, misunderstood. And Jung discovered something profound. Everything we reject in the wounded child becomes the shadow. Everything we reclaim becomes the self. This is why the journey inward can feel like a descent into myth, because you are not just healing your history. You are reenacting an ancient story written into the human soul. But what happens when you finally embrace the child within? What transformation does Jung say is waiting on the other side? It is here that individuation, the central purpose of Jung's work, begins. Jung believed that healing the inner child is not sentimental work. It is revolutionary, because the child you abandon becomes the adult you cannot become. The moment you turn inward, the moment you listen instead of avoid, feel instead of numb, accept instead of criticize, something ancient shifts. The defenses loosen, the shadow softens, the archetypes reorganize, and the self, the deepest, truest center of your being, begins to rise. This is individuation, the process of becoming who you were always meant to be. Not perfect, not untouchable, not enlightened in the way people imagine, but whole. The moment you heal your inner child, your relationships change because you stop searching for someone to rescue or repair you. Your choices change because you are no longer driven by old wounds. Your path changes because you are guided not by fear, but by authenticity. And the world around you changes because you are finally seeing it with the eyes of someone who is no longer hiding from themselves. Jung believed the inner child is not a phase to outgrow, but a companion to return to again and again until the separation between who you were and who you are disappears. Because healing does not happen in a single moment, but everything changes the moment you choose it. If this journey into Jung's philosophy resonated with you, share your reflections in the comments below. Tell us what part of your inner child is calling for your attention today. And if you want more deep, introspective explorations into psychology, archetypes, and the mysteries of the soul, subscribe to the channel. There is more to discover within you. So much more.